Hey there, and welcome back to another explainer. I am absolutely thrilled to dive into this one today because, well, honestly, it completely flips something we've all been taught right on its head, literally since we were kids, right? We're constantly bombarded with this one universal piece of advice: dream big, reach for the stars. But what if I told you that exact advice, that huge pressure to have these massive abstract dreams, might actually be the very thing keeping you totally paralyzed? Sounds crazy, I know. But let's get into it. We're going to unpack the really counterintuitive truth about why your own brain might be secretly sabotaging you, even when you have the absolute best intentions.
So here's the big question. It's a fascinating, honestly kind of cruel paradox. Why does dreaming big keep you stuck? Think about it. You've got these huge ambitions. You deeply, desperately want to succeed. But then you look around and crickets. There is a complete lack of real-world progress. You just feel completely paralyzed, unable to take the very obvious steps you know you need to take. It is incredibly frustrating, isn't it? Well, guess what? It turns out it is absolutely not a lack of willpower. And that brings us to Section 1, the Dream Big Trap. Let's look at the phrase, "I want success." I mean, that is probably the single most common goal on the planet. We've all definitely said some variation of this to ourselves. But when we really analyze this based on our source material, we uncover a fatal flaw. "I want success" is completely abstract. It's totally vague. Simply wanting something, no matter how intensely you want it, is simply not enough to generate any forward momentum. An abstract goal is kind of like, well, it's like trying to grab smoke. There's nothing solid for you to hold on to, and more importantly, there's absolutely nothing solid for your brain to process. Which leads us perfectly into Section 2, your brain's missing command. Okay, so the crucial missing link here is something called a behavioral command. The source material defines this as the necessary directive for the brain to actually execute a task. And those abstract goals we just talked about, they completely failed to provide this. Think of your brain like a ridiculously advanced computer. If you just type in a vague desire like want success, the system literally does not compute. It freezes up. It's frantically searching your mental hard drive for an executable file, a specific set of concrete instructions like do 10 push-ups or write down 5 ideas. And it finds absolutely nothing. Without that specific command, your brain simply cannot initiate action. This comparison right here really hits the nail on the head. On one side, you've got this flawed, abstract approach, just the vague goal of wanting success. But on the other side, that's what your brain actually requires, a physical action that is visible and measurable. The source is crystal clear on this contrast. If your goal is just floating out there in the ether of abstract thought, your brain is blind to it. Actually, scratch that, it doesn't even recognize it as a real thing. To your brain, success isn't a thing you do, it's a concept. Your brain needs concrete reality. It needs an action it can see and an action it can measure. Let's jump into the solution with Section 3, the daily action fix. If you want to successfully translate that vague desire into a command your brain will actually obey, it has to pass a super strict test, 4 parts. It must be visible, it must be measurable, it must be a physical action, and you have to do it every single day. Seriously, if you want to stop feeling stuck, you have to run all your ambitions through this exact filter. You take that massive, intimidating dream, and you ask yourself, okay, what is the visible, measurable, physical action I can do today? This simple formula takes a foggy wish and turns it into a sharp, undeniable behavioral command that your brain simply can't ignore. So ultimately, the real secret to getting unstuck isn't about dreaming larger or, visualizing harder. You have to turn vague desires into one physical action. It's actually about shrinking the dream down. You've got to distill all of that grand, sweeping ambition into a single daily physical movement. By doing this, you stop overwhelming your brain with massive abstract concepts, and you finally start giving it the exact physical commands it needs to make real-world progress. I want to wrap up this explainer by throwing a challenge your way, something you can apply right this second. What is your one visible, measurable, physical action for today? Seriously, don't focus on the massive success you want 5 or 10 years down the road. What is the one undeniable physical command you are going to give your brain today? Figure it out, go do it, and just watch how quickly that feeling of paralysis fades away. Thank you so much for hanging out with me today as we unpack this awesome source material. Keep learning, keep taking those physical actions, and I'll see you in the next explainer.